agreement.
Say a development/operations and maintenance agreement. We don't want to necessarily bind future councils or administrations to have the financial responsibility to take care of these issues going forward. So we are working hand in hand with the Hall of Fame to create a document whereas we both can feel comfortable with moving forward.
Join Pam Cook for Canton's Morning News.
Live from the WHBC Broadcast Center. Find out more about area businesses, agencies, and events.
It's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight on Stark County with Pam Cook and Gary Rivers.
All right, welcome to another edition of Spotlight on this Wednesday morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us.
We're talking trash this morning, Gary.
Are we?
Okay, not exactly.
Good. I am ready for it.
Kinda,
Oh, boy, yeah.
absolutely. Of course, as you know, you can follow us on Facebook as well at 1480 WHBC. We are live on Facebook right now, as we are every Wednesday morning for Spotlight on Stark County. Today, our guest in studio, Stark, Tusc, Wayne Joint Solid Waste District, and we have the director, David Howard, who's also the mayor of North Canton, and Commissioner Bill Smith in studio with us. Welcome, fellas.
Yes, thank you for having us.
We're so glad to see you. It's because of wrapping paper that you are here, isn't it?
Christmas wrapping paper. Christmas wrapping paper. Yeah, we found that in the month of December, that's really the highest volume for trash and also recycling. It goes up about 25%. Anybody have any idea why?
Because I get so many presents?
Exactly.
Because I give so many presents?
There you go, Gary.
Very good.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. My trash is already overflowing today, and we're not even to the big day.
That's right. That's right. You know, it's been really interesting because we've seen actually how the recycling market has changed. The recycling continues to go up every year, but the weight or the volume is going down, and that's because the plastic bottles that we're using now weigh less. Mm-hmm. The aluminum cans that we're recycling actually weigh less. So the participation keeps going up, but the weight in what we're collecting is going down, with one exception. Any idea what material continues to increase, out of paper,
cardboard.
Plastic, glass,
boxes,
aluminum?
Yeah, cardboard.
Yes.
Boxes.
Yes.
Amazon.
Yeah. Do we win anything for that? I mean, we both got the answer right.
What do we
there,
get?
David. Yeah, we want a present.
That's the cardboard. And the other challenge with the cardboard is breaking it down.
Yeah.
Because people, they love to recycle the cardboard, but oftentimes breaking it down, flattening it out.
Yeah. We ran into that last year at the event. Nobody broke down the boxes, and so we ended up using 2 big trash containers when we could have used a half of one when we did all the math and figured it out. You got to compress it. We don't do that.
Well, and just take the corners of the boxes. Take your hand on each side of the corner.
Yeah.
They think they got to take the bottom apart where there's tape in it. Just break the corners, pull them apart. We did that in the grocery business, and we have it a lot of boxes.
Right.
There's a YouTube video right there.
Yeah.
This guy, there's an instruction video on breaking down boxes right here. It'll go viral.
Great idea. Well, we have you here, obviously, because of the holidays and things like that. But let's kind of back up a little bit and talk about some of the things that are happening in the district, for, not only for the season, but for the new year as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really what we're trying to do is get the message out. Our goal is to keep material out of the landfill. And so, when it comes to paper, plastic, glass, aluminum, that's what our primary goal is. Along with yard waste. Yard waste is a big volume. Get the word out and get people recycling. We also do the household hazardous waste collections. So when you have pesticides, insecticides, we've been hosting those collection sites. And recently we had one in Canton Township.
It went really well. Mm-hmm. And it was their second one. They did one up at the Southgate here a year ago. And then this last year they did one down at the Township Hall. And the way they had it laid out, and they had cars in there, and I was down there for a while, it just didn't seem like there were a lot of people because they were moving them through so efficiently. Mm-hmm. And they had different stations. I mean, it was all laid out. You just followed the arrows, the different numbers. They'd tell you, oh, what do you have? Okay, go to number 3, go to number 5. And they directed people around, and it went so smooth, and they were surprised how many hundreds and hundreds of cars they had through there. But it never was backed up. So they really had it down. They planned it out. Then they had the area to do it in. So that really helped out, too. But it was very successful, wasn't it, David?
Yeah, the people, they love the program because oftentimes you'll store up in your basement they have paint cans. Now, the paint cans, we can, solidify that because most of the paint is latex and it's non-hazardous.
Okay.
And so usually when we would collect paint at the hazardous waste collections, it would be solidified and would go to the landfill anyways. So now what we encourage residents to do is if it's still in good condition, the paint, and you have more than a half a can, you could take it to Habitat Restore or the stockpile, and they'll reuse it. And there's a few other companies that will do that as well. But as Commissioner Bill Smith was saying, when we have those household hazardous waste collections, the setup is what's most important. And if you have a lot of people there, a lot of hands, many hands to pull the material out of the cars, it just keeps things running smoothly. The residents love it because they can get rid of the stuff that's been storing in their basement or their garage over the season.
And what else is there besides paint that people should be aware of? I'm sure there's a lot of things. Computers
and TVs and just things that they can't just put in their trash can or they don't want to anymore. You might have, but now you're more aware of, gee, this really shouldn't go there. There's some hazardous things in here that need to be taken apart. And so there's specialty people that come in there and they haul truckloads out. So, just different things that, like you say, the old computer screens, the big ones.
Yeah.
There's still some around and computers and that sort of, the electronics, different things of that nature.
Right. Yeah, the computers and electronics have really been, when we hosted the collections out at Stark State in the past, we'd have 4 collections in a 3-county area, all within 6 weeks. So we'd have 14,000 cars come through. And the computers, really, the computers and the paint were the 2 highest volume materials. So 70% was the computers and the paint. But again, the paint, people can solidify that at home and just put that in their regular trash. We don't want to have a white strip of paint going from the back of the garbage truck. So it's good to solidify. You can use kitty litter or wood chips or even cardboard if you wanted to break that up. Anything that could absorb the liquid.
Okay, sand, something like that.
Okay, but it's nice to know. How often do you do these big collections?
Yeah, the big collections, we used to do them, at least once a year, but now we've partnered with the Canton Recycling Center. And that's run by the Canton City Health Department. Great program. So anybody that would like to take their material, if they've got it stored up, you can call the Canton Recycle Center and you can make an appointment and you can drop off all of your household hazardous waste at no cost.
And that would be TVs and...
Yeah, the TVs we've been collecting. They'll take the TVs. The larger TVs, we used to collect those, but now the problem with they call it the cathode ray tube, the large televisions, that material, we can't find processors that will take that lead glass. So 80% is lead glass. And it ends up in the landfill anyways. So we're taking the flat screens and all the other computers and electronics, but they can go to the Canton Recycle Center and
anytime you just have to call and schedule an appointment.
Yeah, you call down there at the Canton Recycle Center and schedule an appointment, and they'll take all the material. And actually, that has been when you look at like the drop-offs for that, it just continues to grow. It continues to grow.
Wow.
And improve. So
I'm waiting for Uber pickup service, curbside. Is that possible yet? Or is that next?
Or Uber curbside.
I don't know.
That would be nice.
Gary's constantly trying to invent his own business.
Well, we're always trying to find the easiest way to do it because, let's face it, that's what we want, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what we want. Another thing, too, is when you look at people, sometimes you do have people that abuse the recycling drop-offs. We set them out as a public service so that you can recycle, the recyclables. We don't want garbage and trash. And so at Canton Township, for years, that was one of the largest sites as far as abuse of dumping. And so, Commissioner, when you were a township trustee, that's when you employed the cameras, right?
Correct. We, called you up and had an idea of cameras for some time. because of my businesses, I have cameras. And so you can, you go back, and we would put up, we had deer cameras, and we were catching some people that way, where we'd catch your license plates, and so on and so forth.
Well, I was lucky.
But yeah, the thing is, then once you came up and helped us redesign it, and we fenced it in, we put cameras on it. That alone, the appearance of it, and
eliminates a lot of that.
Eliminated a lot of commercial waste. We're talking roofing. I mean, people would roof a house; they would come in and dump the whole thing on a truckload of it, and things of that nature. Drywall. And what are we going to do with it? I mean, so it really started taking the program to the point where we're going to have to close this. And so the majority of the people would have been out. But with David's help and the recycling, help, the center's help, then we put in cameras and everything. And, boy, I tell you what, and the sheriff go right out and say, knock on the doors, come back and get it now.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's cameras at every angle, too.
Wow, that's awesome.
Really has worked well.
Well, that's absolutely necessary. We'll come back more on recycling here on News Talk 1480 WHBC in just a moment.
Here's what you missed on the Gary Rivers Show.
We've been bringing up this flat tax forever. Why can't the flat tax be passed? Because everybody wants their deductions. It's all about selfish motive.
Washington, D.C. is like a drug addict. They're hooked on our tax dollars. I don't trust them. I'm sure you don't trust them to spend our money wisely.
No, I don't. But we're never going to see anybody in Congress say, let's just go with a 20% flat tax. It's too logical.
Tune in to the Gary Rivers Show, 10 till noon, weekdays on WHBC.
Recycle. You can make a difference. Recycle in your community.
Hi, this is David Held, Executive Director of the Stark Tuscarawas Wayne Recycling District. Recycling is something we all can do in our community and in our world. The Recycling District would like to recognize local recyclers for their dedication to recycling and conservation. Recycling reduces the use of natural resources and conserves landfill space. Recycling also provides many valuable local jobs. I encourage you to continue recycling through your curbside program or at one of our public recycling drop-offs. Please visit our website at timetorecycle.org or call 800-678-9839 for recycling opportunities near you. This recycling service is brought to you by your local recycling district. By recycling, we can all make a difference.
Make a difference in your community. Recycle.
Message and data rates may apply.
Hi, I'm Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. After I left baseball, I just couldn't stay in shape like I used to. Turns out, once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone, and that can make it harder to get into shape. So I got back into the game with Nugenics. I'm feeling stronger with a lot more energy and drive. You want to get back into shape? Get Nugenics. All you have to do is send one simple text.
Frank's right. Just text LIKE to 42424 to get a complimentary bottle of award-winning Nugenics, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Its unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help a man feel stronger, leaner, more energetic, and more passionate.
And guys, she'll like the difference too.
Nugenics samples are not available in stores. To get your complimentary bottle, text LIKE to 42424. That's LIKE to 42424.
Hi, Andy Logan of Logan Sports, North Canton, inviting you to come in and see all the great deals we have going on now at Logan's. Like 20 to 50% off on all Nike and Under Armour apparel and shoes. All football, baseball, softball equipment are also marked down, as well as all of our NFL youth and adult jerseys. As you know, Logan's has the best selection of Ohio State apparel and accessories in Northeastern Ohio, and they are 20 to 50% off. And if you need high school spirit wear or custom lettering done, let Logan Sports' 43 years of experience show through. So buy local and make Logan's your one-stop shop.
The Ford year-end sales event is in full swing. For a limited time, get $1,000 cash back on top of 0% APR financing for 72 months on a full lineup of 2017 Ford vehicles. That's Ford, America's best-selling brand. Celebrate the season with exclusive holiday offers like 0% APR financing for 72 months, plus 1,000 Ford credit cash across a full lineup of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Best-selling based on 2016 sales. Not all buyers qualify for Ford credit financing. 72 months at $13.89 per month for $1,000 financed regardless of down payment on cars, F-150, and SUVs. Not available on Ford GT, Fiesta, Focus RS, Mustang GT 350, 350R, Raptor, or Super Duty. Take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by January 2nd, 2018. See dealer or go to buyfordnow.com for complete details.
Now back to Spotlight with Pam and Gary.
Well, we're back in the studio, and all of us are enjoying watching videos of people everywhere.
Gary.
Man!
We're watching live cameras of people. And you can do the same. Just go to Facebook. You can watch us live in the studio if you want to right now at 1480 WHBC. We have in studio with us David Held, who is the director of the Stark-Tusc Wayne Joint Solid Waste Management District. And we have Stark County Commissioner Bill Smith. And we're talking about recycling. And what about, one thing people always ask is, what about tires? That's a whole different animal, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they do take, there's a few sites here that do take tires, 12 tires per person per year. And so, and those are cumbersome, and an individual isn't going to have that many, but, you'll have that 2 or 3 in your garage, and it's, what do you do with it? The site down here in Canton that we were talking about on Schroyer, they'll accept over in Maslin on Walnut.
Now, are there fees for them to take it, or is it they'll just take it?
Jackson here says there's a $3 fee. But for $3, it's out of your way.
Oh, yeah, per tire. Yeah,
but
that's easy.
I don't believe the other 2 are charging, are they?
No, that's correct.
Yeah,
Down into the city of Canton, the Canton Recycle Center will take it at no cost. And the Jackson site does have a fee. So each site is set up a little bit differently. But the good thing is you can dispose of it and get it out of the garage. We've also noticed, too, with the tires, one of the big challenges is when they're laying out in the yard or outside, mosquitoes. They breed.
Right. And that's one thing that, I know when I was a trustee, the zoning department would always look for tires. And even at commercial places, they had to be on rims because of the mosquitoes and the water that collect in them. And so, they even accepted tires that day that they had that big, recycling.
Right. The hazardous waste company.
Right. And they're a nuisance. I mean, I found one that was laying there along, in the ditch in front of the house. So now what do? You don't leave it there.
Right.
And so you pull it out. Now what do you do? Right. So you do have a choice now.
Well, and we always did not like the fact that you had to pay to get rid of it. You often wondered why there was no recycling where they would pay you if they were doing something with it. But it's a tough one to recycle.
It's, oftentimes people will say, oh, you're making money with the recyclables that you collect. But there's revenue. You can sell the recyclables, but the cost that it takes to collect it is much greater than the revenue that.
As sitting on the board now down there, I'm learning those costs. Like those trucks aren't given to them.
No, they're not free.
Right.
David, how much is one of the recycling trucks?
Yeah, the recycling truck, a 40-yard, one of the large packing recycling trucks, they're at $300,000 for one truck.
Wow.
And then you have to get good, reputable people that can man that and be out there on their shifts, and so there's a cost to it. So, you get some back, but it's not. You're really keeping it out of the landfill. You're looking at the future,
Just getting people into the habit of recycling, because another point of interest really is that the recycling market changes. So every month we get the price for the cost of to sell paper, cardboard, and that'll fluctuate. It can be $30 a ton up to $50 a ton, and it changes month by month.
Oh yeah, and when we had a baler at the grocery store, when I had the IGA. We would sell the cardboard. Well, then the market would go so low is they would take it, but you never got a check. You never got a big check, but it was something to pay for the wire. We always said, well, it paid for the wire to band it. And that was fine. But then it got to the point where they couldn't even pay you, and so it's a marketable commodity.
Yeah.
So, but it needs to. It just sits there in the landfill and it collects and collects, and we just think of how much we've saved by putting back into the landfills over the last 10 years even.
Yeah.
You've made tremendous progress in lowering the amount going into the landfill, right?
Yeah, it's the highest volume of material that's recycled is from commercial and industrial. Okay. And you might think, well, why is that? And it's because a lot of it is metal. So the metal is always recycled. So when you look at our industrial recycling, it's over 70%.
Wow! Really?
Yeah.
It's a pretty high number.
That is, yeah.
And but with the residential and the commercial, a large percentage of that is cardboard. Mm-hmm. With the residents, we still only recycle like less than 5% of the waste that's generated from residents. Less than 5% is recycled. So we still have a long way to go.
What are the communities like when it comes to curbside pickup and things like that? And communities not forcing, but asking you to recycle or requiring you to recycle. Mm-hmm. It's different everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, it's much easier with a municipality. So we have 12 municipalities within the Stark, Tuscarawas, Wayne district, and all 11 out of the 12 have curbside recycling programs.
So do we need to make a phone call to the 12?
That's right.
We can do that right now.
Right. You can do it live on the air.
And that is all changing because instead of the I guess you call the buckets or the out there the containers, now as some of these communities have caught on, then they have went to this smaller trash can, and so really talking to some of the folks at Kimball's and some of those others that you could almost reverse it because your trash can would be 65
65 gallon container.
Mm-hmm. The other one's like a 45. Mm-hmm. Well, if you really recycle right, it could almost switch.
It would be the other way
because there's that much that you can now, because of the plastics have all qualified. Mm-hmm. Almost all of them have qualified. Where just in the past, years ago, only a few. But most of them qualify now, so that fills it up quick. But and I imagine we're going to get there. But awareness, I think a lot of it is awareness and educating people.
Awareness, education, and ease. Again, I mean, we're such a fast-paced society. You don't think about, I should recycle. No, you're just throwing it out to get it out of the way because you got to get to the kids. I mean, that's really the way it works for folks, and trying to get them to change is tough.
Yeah, curbside recycling has the highest volume of participation. So when you have a curbside program at a municipality, it can be 25 to 35% of the volume is recycled, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
And then for the residents, it's usually in the townships that most of the townships do not have a contract for waste hauling. And
so you pick your own.
We don't want to go there. We looked at that down in Canton Township, and oh man, you don't want to talk trash that way.
Oh boy! All right, we're putting your county commissioner on the spot when we come back on Spotlight. That's next after news.
Medicare Part D participants, Giant Eagle Pharmacy has important news. When enrolling in a Medicare plan, it's important to know which pharmacies are in your plan's preferred network. We're excited to announce that Giant Eagle Pharmacy is a preferred pharmacy with United Healthcare, Aetna Coventry, Anthem, and many more. So you can fill your prescriptions for as low as $0. Don't pay more at another pharmacy. Choose the right Medicare plan and save on prescriptions. Visit gianteagle.com/Medicare. $0 copays apply to Tier 1 generics for select plans.
'Tis the season to wrap up some holiday savings on a new or used vehicle. Just in the nick of time, Friends and Family Credit Union will put you on Santa's nice list with outstanding rates and terms up to 84 months. Stop and visit with Tim, Chris, Howard, or Becky. They'll secure the vehicle you want at the rate you can afford. And you can refinance your bah humbug high-interest loan from another financial institution. Friends and Family Credit Union has 3 full-service locations to serve you online at friendsandfamilycu.com, in the palm of your hand with mobile banking, or like us on Facebook. Additional restrictions may apply. All rates and promotions are subject to change without notice. This institution is not federally insured. They are privately insured by ASI up to $250,000 per account. You're just in the nick of time to wrap up some holiday savings on a new or used vehicle loan at Friends and Family Credit Union. This holiday season, it's time to bring a friend into the family.
Hello, Northeast Ohio. Chad here with Sarshone Chevy in Randolph. We encourage you to visit us at SarshonChevrolet.com and see what makes us the #1 Silverado dealer in Ohio. We don't take that title lightly. With over 800 vehicles in inventory, we're bound to have the new Chevy that you're looking for, including the all-new redesigned Chevy Traverse, or pick out one of our 30 Corvettes. Let our family serve your family here at Sarshone. On the corner of 44 and 224, we're right down the road. Chevy, find new roads.
This is WHBC AM Canton. News Talk 1480 WHBC.
I'm Jim Michaels with 1480 WHBC News, now 30 degrees. We are in weather transition right now, moving from fall to winter. With the average high for this time of year at around 40, will be in the 30s for at least the next week or so, starting tomorrow.
We've gone from mostly a southwesterly flow to now a northwesterly flow, and that means much colder temperatures than we're adjusted to are coming in.
AccuWeather meteorologist Maggie Johnson says that means any precip headed our way would be in the form of snow, but good news, no major storms on the horizon. Maggie says the high today is going to be 44. Wildfires continue to burn overnight in Southern California with more evacuations. Fox's Jonathan Hunt is in Ventura County.
We actually have zero containment, and it's across Southern California. One of the other fires that is particularly bad is in Silmar. That is north of Los Angeles, an area where there are a lot of ranches, a lot of people who keep animals, and we have seen some heartbreaking video of people trying desperately to get their horses out of the area. The sad news from an area called Sunland, which is near Silmar, is that several horses were killed.
No human casualties directly related to the fires. The Santa Ana winds, they say, are dying down a bit today. No cause yet for a kitchen fire in Massillon yesterday afternoon. Fire did damage to the walls and ceiling in the kitchen, moved into the attic, but Massillon firefighters quickly knocked it down. A dog was taken to an animal hospital after being rescued from a house. That fire in the 2000 block of Cypress Drive southeast near the Legends Golf Course. Well, he's been the Ohio Treasurer, Secretary of State. Just got through heading up the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau in D.C., a new agency. Now Richard Cordray wants to be Ohio governor.
Actually, I wasn't in Washington for 6 years. I commuted back and forth every weekend. This is my hometown, and I never became a creature of Washington.
Cordray in Grove City outside Columbus yesterday. The DeWine campaign responding, saying Cordray's agenda is loaded with job-killing regulations and increased government spending. More 1480 WHBC News at 10.
Hall of Fame City weather.
Here's your AccuWeather.com forecast. Breezy and chillier today. Sunshine will mix with some clouds, the high only 44. Turning cloudy tonight, a low of 24. And tomorrow's going to be mostly cloudy, breezy, and even colder with a high of 33. Sun will mix with clouds. It'll be another chilly day Friday with a high of 34. I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Now back to Spotlight with Pam and Gary.
All right, second half of our Spotlight this morning, talking trash.
Talking trash with these kind gentlemen we're so happy to have in studio with us. We have Stark County Commissioner Bill Smith with us, and also Director of the Starks Tusc Wayne Joint Solid Waste Management District. That's a mouthful.
Yes,
David
good
Held.
morning. It's a long, long title.
He's the trash guy.
The trash guy, talking trash.
I think that should be a radio program, Talking Trash, don't you? I think it works very well.
A friend of mine refers to me as the king of the trash heap.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey,
I guess,
you didn't do a
is that
commercial
nice?
this year that was funny and
We've got
witty.
another commercial that's coming out.
Oh,
yes.
Last year was so good. Remember last year's commercial? How funny that was? Oh, I loved it.
Well, actually, we had some of the staff members that said that the commercial that we had over the years was stale.
Right.
Oh,
well, the funny one was with the guy last year on the. Right?
Yes, that's right. We had a little skit.
Yeah,
we had the cereal dumper.
The cereal dumper. That was it. I knew. I couldn't think of the name.
We've got a cereal dumper.
This year, what is it? A talking trash can? What do you have?
No, this one is going to be a Christmas Carol one, an Elvis Christmas Carol.
Elvis is in the building.
Nice. A green, green Christmas.
Oh,
I got a whole lot of trash.
Green, green Christmas.
That's a little preview right there, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. I love it. Well, we've been talking talking about, obviously recycling, I think let's continue the discussion because we kind of get to the point of the curbside recycling, the municipalities that do have it, and then the townships.
Around the county that you will have to take, like in Canton Township, you'll have to take down in their places at the Township Hall on Central Avenue. So all the bins are there, and you'll have to take them in and on yourself. So you'll have to make that effort. You can't just take it to the curb. But it's amazing how many people will do that. And I think some of it, too, we talked about education. I think some of it starts in the schools, where the kids come back and they say, hey, we need to start, we can't throw that empty pop bottle in there. We've got to take that down. So I think that will influence, because I would watch the different people that would come through there, and there was a constant trail. And we got it to the point where when I first got down there to Township, it was inside a locked area. So at 3:30 or 4 o'clock, they locked the gates. And I'm thinking, okay, so from 7 to 4, let's say, it was open, and after that, a lot of people work during those times.
Right.
So they go down, and Saturday and Sunday is locked, and it didn't make sense. So we moved them outside. It says, I don't know why they ever did that prior to, but we kind of looked at that, moved them outside the fenced area, threw some lights up there, and said, okay, let's start that, and it just escalated. And because you did it for their convenience, the customer's convenience, okay, not necessarily your own, and it worked. And again, once in a while you'll see something alongside of one of the bins. But I'll tell you what, John Smith down there at Canton Township, yes. I give him his kudos, and his crew, they really watch that, even today. And now, through grants, they have blacktopped that area. The waste,
it's a premier site
yard
right
waste,
now.
Yeah, yard waste is done, and you're not going to get muddy. It's all blacktopped and done right. So it's really, and again, cameras have helped a lot. Because John, he can even go on his phone if he thinks there's something up, or he can check on the weekends. Instead of running all the way down there, he pops it up on his phone. He could see if there's something dumped, not supposed to be. And then he knows he can go back on the cameras and catch it. But and a lot of the sites now have copied that, and they've been very successful in doing that around the Tri-County area. So, but yeah, I mean, you would have to take it into yourself, but it's amazing. It is a constant trail of vehicles in Canton Township, I can tell you.
It's almost like, somebody had given me the example of recycling is like voting. That once somebody finds their voting location and they get into, and they vote once, then they know where to go, and then they vote regularly. Mm-hmm. And the same thing with recycling. Once somebody gets into the habit where they set up a container inside their house or a bag, and they collect the recyclables, and then they know whether to take it to the curb or to a local drop-off. People are very, very committed to the recycling. I mean, people that recycle are very dedicated people in general.
Yeah, and think it's very. I mean, and you talk about kids because. I mean, once somebody, when you're in a recycling family, if you're then you go somewhere else, like to somebody else's house. Yes. Where do I throw this? Where's your recycling bin? Yes. It just becomes part of that habit. That's
it becomes a part of it, and then you'll have people like myself. We'll see the pop can in the garbage, and it's like, who did this? Who did this?
You
who
get
is
a
the
rash,
culprit,
don't you?
Right?
Trash shaming. Trash shaming is happening here,
stop
people.
The activity.
I heard it right now. We coined the phrase here.
Yes, better not have been one of my children.
Oh, my.
They should know better.
It must have been one of the guests. Time to educate them.
We're not going to David's for the holidays.
Like, whoa.
That's going to be a trauma.
Stop the music.
Yeah. There's a commercial for you.
Right there.
And, of course, Gary is recycling, too, right, Gary?
Oh, absolutely. Right.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. The look on your face, Gary, the confidence is not.
Well, I don't do it as much as I should. That's true. I do some, but not as much.
So you're the audience that we want to reach, Gary.
Right.
Yes. So what can we do to help you?
Well, my kids shame me on a daily basis.
Okay. Yep.
So it is that education that's going
shaming.
on there. Right.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good
Trash
thing.
shaming.
Trash shaming.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true, though. And I think you're right about when you compare it to voting, which is kind of an interesting way of comparing. But it is true. Once you know where you're going and you can make it into your routine, then it can make a big difference. See, it becomes a habit, absolutely.
And how easy it is. And there are multiple sites just around Stark County. So they're in all practically all the townships.
Yes, we have one in just about every township. And so we try to make it as easy as we can. And if you don't have a curbside program, most all the municipalities have a curbside program. And if not, we've got the drop-off.
But will it ever become where it's almost mandatory, where there is all of them, all the townships, everybody in Ohio is doing that? It seems to me that's where we're going, isn't it?
Yeah, it's if you look at it on a state-by-state basis, you look at California and New York, the challenge that they have is they have limited landfill space. So, like
New York has New Jersey,
right. You did well. Okay, all right. That was a joke, right, Gary?
Not really.
So really, what we have is that when you have, like in Ohio, we have a lot of landfill capacity, and so really the cost of landfilling is lower than the cost of the expense of recycling.
Got it.
But if you have a limited landfill area, like you look at, let's say, Hawaii,
what do they do,
all their trash has to be shipped out, or they don't have that much landfill space. So, right now it's pretty cheap to put material into a landfill here in Ohio. We've got 3 of the largest landfills capacity-wise in the state of Ohio, right here in Christmas jingle, phone rang. That was nice. But we have 3 of the largest landfills in the state of Ohio right here, in 2 in Stark County, and then 1 in Tuscarawas County.
Got it. So hence it's a little bit less likely to do. But you alluded to New York and California. So is it mandatory in both those states for the most part?
Yeah, you have recycling requirements out there where trash. Let's say yard waste cannot go into the landfill at all. And here it's just we don't have that law.
But I just wondered if down the road we're going to that'll be taken up down in Columbus.
Yeah, I think that when technology changes, when we continue to improve how we manage waste, because right now we don't even the industry doesn't even refer to it as waste now. They refer to it as material management. So in some cases, they're looking to mine the garbage, to
pick the stuff out.
Pick the recyclables because there's a value with it.
Yeah.
Even like with the tires, Commissioner, when you were talking about the tire recycling, we have a tire monofill right here in Waynesburg.
Right.
And so it's not a landfill, it's a monofill, meaning one material, which is tires. And so all of those tires are being stored up, into a monofill, but they can, be retrieved.
They can be retrieved whenever, and whenever it's maybe economically feasible.
Right.
Also, don't forget they have a great website. timetorecycle.org is the website. So if you're looking for your location, it was very simple. I went to the website and you want to know where to take your recyclables. They're all listed there for the community recycling program. So now I'm going to see Perry Township.
And now Perry Township. We've got a few sites in Perry.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's very, very easy for you to recycle, Pam.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll be back with our final segment on Spotlight in just a moment.
Trending on WHBC.
The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, as amended, is passed.
One report at a time.
So it won't be long before we understand one way or the other whether the Trump people colluded with Russia, because I can't imagine it happening and Flynn not know about it.
Informative and enlightening.
North Korea is tough. It's not easy to get inside and try to figure out what this guy's going to do.
Because big events happen every day.
I don't think the Democrats would be very smart to say they want to shut down the government.
This is WHBC.
Now at Menards, save big money on your next project with an 11% rebate on everything. Update your home with Delta faucets. The Porter High Arc bathroom faucet in a chrome finish is just $59.63 after rebate. The Foundations kitchen faucet in a stainless steel finish is only $106.79 after rebate. There's no limit to how much you can save now during the 11% rebate sale at Menards. Good through December 9th. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
If you are on Medicare and have questions about drug and health coverage options for 2018, please join the Ohio Department of Insurance at a Medicare event near you. Learn about Medicare open enrollment, financial assistance programs, and important deadlines. Everyone on Medicare should review their health and drug plan options. Annual open enrollment runs October 15th through December 7th, and new plan coverage begins January 1, 2018. Visit insurance.ohio.gov or call 1-800-686-1578 to find an event near you.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-700-7111. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible, without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-700-7111. That's 1-800-700-7111. 1-800-700-7111.
Did you know that the best gift you can give this holiday season is for free?
The Stop Heroin from Killing Committee is asking everyone to spend 15 minutes talking to a friend or family member about the dangers of heroin. There's no cost to save a life.
While you're icing cookies, wrapping gifts, or decorating the tree, heroin will destroy some families' holiday. Heroin is heartless and unforgiving. Too many young people are dying.
This holiday season, let's treasure what is most important in our life, our family.
So let's talk. All it takes is 15 minutes to save a life.
That way, we'll make sure all hearts are home for the holidays.
Paid for by the Stop Heroin from Killing Committee.
Hey sis, I'm really worried about Mom. Ever since she moved to the Canton Regency, she seems different.
I know what you mean. Last night I tried to call, but she was heading out to see a movie. Said she didn't have time to talk and she would call me later.
The other day, she was having lunch with the ladies. And when I stopped in to say hi, I felt like I was interrupting.
Canton Regency now offers a retirement community that features a movie theater, cafe, and restaurant-style dining, all on campus. Canton Regency, 877-927-4841, or online at cantonregency.com.
Hey, Mom.
Sorry, can't talk right now. Ciao.
Enjoy an evening of fun for the whole family at Light Up Downtown on Thursday, December 7th in downtown Canton. Light Up Downtown is your ticket to 14 blocks of free holiday activities and entertainment, along with a magical musical holiday jamboree and elf-stravaganza. The main stage show on Market Square begins at 5:45, featuring local song and dance troops and Santa Claus, then concluding with a stunning fireworks display presented by Kempthorne Motors. After the show, visit shops and restaurants along Market Avenue. You'll find live entertainment, kids' crafts, refreshments, and holiday fun for the whole family. Light Up Downtown Thursday, December 7th from 5:45 to 8:30 p.m. is produced by the Canton Regional Chamber of Commerce and is part of the Downtown Canton event series presented by Key Bank with additional support from Kempthorne Motors, AEP Ohio, Altman, HP Products, Keenan Advantage Group, the Canton Repository, Abbott Electric, Modern Meadows Architects, Boy Scouts of America, Metro PCS, the City of Canton, Downtown Canton Special Improvement District, PPI Graphics, and Mix 94.1 and 1480 WHBC.
Forecasters say this time they expect that band of heavier snow.
When the weather turns nasty.
And it looks like it will be a cold day across most of the Northeast.
Turn to News Talk 1480 WHBC for the Akron Children's Hospital school closings report. Pam and Canton's Morning News will let you know whether your school is closed, delayed, or open for business.
School's going to be closed, so make sure you tune into the radio.
Get your school closings from News Talk 1480 WHBC. Brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital, where we have one focus: kids.
Now back to Spotlight with Pam and Gary.
Hour's almost up. Amazing.
I know. It's flying by.
Because I was going to recycle the first half of this show, but we're not doing that now.
Gary is going to continue. You're going to be recycling. You'll be recycling from this day forward. Right, Gary?
I've been recycling jokes for years, so why not the rest of it?
Why not recycle the plastic bottles?
Well, we've been talking about so many different things, but we're going to go to the phones real fast here because Tom from Canton was kind enough to call in. He's got a question for you guys regarding recycling. And are you there, sir?
Yes. Yeah, I'm in the Myers Lake area of Canton Township, and I know that some time back our trustees tried to put together a township-wide group, which unfortunately didn't go through. But we were, at that time then, most of the people up in this area are with Kimball, and we're under the assumption, we were told during this whole thing, that they do take the stuff and they pull the steel and the aluminum and the waste paper and the good paper and stuff like that. They pretty well do this and it doesn't go into landfills. Is that true, or is that just something that people have dreamed up?
Tom, how you doing?
Are you sitting down?
Bill. Yeah, are you sitting down? Yeah, it's not happening. There have been attempts in the past by companies to do this, and it's just not very efficient way to do it. It's very cumbersome. And bottom line is, it's got to be profitable. It's not, but it's very, very difficult to separate all that, and no one has really truly found a way to do that efficiently. And so, I know that story's been out there a little bit, but it is not happening.
Yeah, you've got to take, if you're going to be recycling, you have to separate the recyclables before it goes into the trash. And I think there was a company, a waste hauling company, probably over 20 years ago, that was pulling the recyclables out of the garbage. And so that's where I think people still have memories of, of that process. But today in this area, if you're going to recycle, you've got to, separate it before it goes into the trash.
Well, I've got my 3 bins out there that I tried to do a good job. I know I could do a lot better. We take all our paper down to church, and then our aluminum, when we get that all enough that bagged up, I bring that down, and steel is the 3 things that I usually try to pull out. But I know I could do better at it. But thank you. I appreciate that you guys working and doing this.
Yes,
thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it. All right, we are just about 9 minutes away from 10, and let's go back to we started out talking about wrapping paper because 'tis the season. So any tips for folks as they are heading into the present buying and present receiving season?
Yes. I mean, one thing that you can do is really try to, reduce the amount of material that you have. And so sometimes people will re-gift the gift bags, use the gift bag or get a gift bag and then, reuse it. So that's one thing that you can do. But the most important thing is that when you're unwrapping all those Christmas gifts, Gary, that you'll be buying for your children, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You just put it in the bag and put it out at the curb or take it to one of the recycling drop-offs.
I like the bag idea because I'm the one in our house.
No gift wrapping for men, right?
No, I have to do all the gift wrapping. That's my job.
Right.
And I mean, we're talking, we have 9 grandchildren and Billy and Amy Foster too, so we have 11 and children. And yeah, that takes a couple evenings, but my wife does not. That's one thing she's assigned to me.
Good for her. See,
and I don't mind doing it. But you're right. I like the bag idea a lot better.
Gift bags
for a lot of
joy.
reasons.
Yes,
the bag, and then you put the little tissue in the top.
Yeah,
it's simple. Done,
but just I'll tell her that you said so.
Just a little hint, Phil. Don't use a birthday one on Christmas.
Yeah. Make sure it's red and green.
It's got to be red and green.
Also, we were talking about deliveries. I mean, that's for me. That's because I order a lot online. QVC, Amazon, every single store you could imagine. And then I've got these boxes, and I learned very quickly how to flatten out a box.
It seems like we went in reverse because if you look at packaging. Over the years, packaging has gotten less and less on an item. Shrink wrap packaging and different ways they package. But now, with this online ordering, all of a sudden, we've got this cardboard box craze again.
But it's also those little peanuts. What do you do with those? I mean, those are awful, aren't they?
Those are a problem because it's, although styrofoam is recyclable, it's tough to find a processor that will collect it. And
those take up a lot of space because they're all air, right? Yeah. I mean, what do you do with that?
And oftentimes you'll have like the UPS or the shipping locations. They'll take it back from you because they'll reuse that. So that's a good thing to do. And Bill, when you were talking about purchasing online, people purchase online. I had a little purchasing mishap here recently where I went and decided to buy a ladder, one of those little giant ladders.
Oh, yeah.
A ladder. And I put it in the cart, electronically, and I must have hit it twice.
Oh.
So I ordered 2 ladders.
Oh, no.
Yeah, 2 ladders. And so I have
2 ladders.
Yeah, an extra one.
Yeah, Bill's looking for one.
Yeah, you need an extra ladder. And the shipping was free coming to my house.
Nice.
But the shipping going back is not free. So it's like, make sure that you check your
Pay
cart.
attention. Yes.
Pay attention.
Yes, besides the recycling issue. There's the shopping issue as well.
If you do keep your gifts, you just flatten the cardboard.
And don't let me borrow your credit card. That's another hint.
No, that's another good one.
Yeah. That was a given.
That's exactly right. All right, so tell folks if they want more information or they need to find out about their locations. Obviously, I said timetorecycle.org. That's the website, and they can go there and find out all kinds of things, right?
Yeah, you can find out, what to do with all of your material. We'd also like to promote this service at the Canton Recycle Center, and their phone number is 330-430-7869. So any of your household hazardous waste, any of the residents here in the listening audience, you can take your household hazardous waste to the Canton Recycle Center, and they will accept it at no cost.
Very
good. Make an appointment there, and that's 330-430-7869. They're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 3, and then on Tuesday they're open till 6.
All right, that's always good to know. Because
website is good. Do you encourage or discourage folks to call your organization just for questions like we just had Tom calling a few moments ago?
Yeah. People can call 800-678-9839, so they can call our office. We have staff there that's available. We're also on Facebook. So Stark, Tuscarawas, Wayne.
Yeah, I'll tell you, if you search if you search Stark Tusc on Facebook, it comes right up. You'll see it. And I clicked on it, and then you just like the page, and you're in. So that's good. It's good to go.
We just try to make it as easy as possible for people to recycle.
Very good.
All right, we just got just a few more moments. Again, so the website for more information and phone number, folks, if you want to learn more about this and get into that habit of recycling, you got to do it.
It's a habit that you're going to get into
that I'm working on
Gary?
right now.
timetorecycle.org is the website. Phone number?
timetorecycle.org. Phone number 800-678-9839.
All right, thank you guys for being with us here this morning.
Yes.
We do appreciate your time.
Thank you, and happy holidays.
Yes.
A little bird on a wire.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
That Santa.
Happy